Morning, everyone. Let's all rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Morning, everyone. Hope everybody had a good Labor Day weekend. First thing we have on the agenda are the approval of the minutes from last week, and Chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second?
Second?
Been moved and second. Anybody have any changes or corrections to the minutes?
No.
Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. New business. Brad?
Good morning. Brad Talley, Lafayette Renew. Have a few items for you today regarding preventive maintenance for our collection system. First, you have amendment number 2 to task order number 3 for the sanitary inflow and infiltration field investigations with Westler and Associates. This brings us through December 2025 with this contract, and it's in the amount of $10,000, not to exceed total amount of $100,000. This is a $10,000 extension, I'm sorry. Jackie has reviewed this, and I recommend it for your approval.
Okay, let's go ahead and see if any questions. Chair will entertain a motion to approve amendment number 2 to task order number 3. I always like that.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Moved and second. Anybody have any questions?
Brad, just because of what he's just said, amendment number 2 to task order number 3, I get lost in what
Sure.
the projects are. Can you bring me back to home base? And
Yeah,
move me forward?
home base on this one, we've got flow meters in the ground. So basically what we try to do is we try to keep our system as tight as possible. So we try to keep the groundwater and infiltration out of our system. Similar to waterworks, they try to keep water loss, we try to keep water out. So we're constantly monitoring our collection system to make sure that we don't have any type of I&I illicit discharges into the system. So this is just kind of a continuing, and it really relates to the next couple amendments too for the lining and the smoke testing. So we're just evaluating our system, make sure we have capacity, right?
Okay.
So the first agreement with Westler to do this was back in 2021, is that right? Or is that,
Yeah.
that was what? And this is just an addition. Each year, we're adding an additional task for what needs to be done
Yeah.
this year to that order, that
Yeah,
initial order
So we have an umbrella
agreement.
contract agreement that Jackie reviews, and then these task orders are just under the terms and conditions of those umbrella agreements.
So the original agreement back in 2021, obviously, we've added to that since then, but now that a total of that agreement was $100,000, is that right?
It is
For
now,
this,
yeah.
that what they're saying? Okay,
Yeah.
all right, got it. Any other questions regarding this agreement?
Thank you. Both of you, thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? Okay, we have a motion, a second to approve this agreement. I'll not say it again. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Should have strung these out, huh? All right, thank you. Next, you have task order number 8, the 2025 smoke testing contract. We've identified around 63,000 linear feet of sanitary sewers that we would like to have investigated for inflow and infiltration. This task order shall not exceed $58,000. Again, Jackie has reviewed it, and I recommend it for your approval.
Okay, Chair, intend a motion to approve this task order. This is, never mind. This task order, number 8 for Westland Engineering. Is there a motion? Moved, is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Now, this doesn't have, this is standalone $58,000 for this. Okay.
Correct.
For this project.
So the first one was amendment. We've amended that task order number 2 a few times as we've gone along.
Yes.
This is a standalone.
This is standalone.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, task order number 8. We have a motion, a second. Anybody have any questions regarding this? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
All right, so to follow that up, we have task order number 9 for sewer rehabilitation. So this is our, every couple of years, we try to line some of our sewers with a cured-in-place liner. And this is that contract. So we've identified 15,000 linear feet of 8 and 10-inch sewer that we'd like to have lined starting this fall over the wintertime. This task order is in the not-to-exceed amount of $45,000, and I recommend it for your approval.
Okay, Chair, entertain a motion to approve this task order number 9 for the, for Westland Engineering.
So moved.
Second? Moved and seconded. Anybody have any questions on this? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
So we're going to keep with the task orders, but we're going to change companies. We have task order with Butler, Fairman, and Seifert. We're trying to investigate some drainage at the old Durkee's Run and Durgan School west of 18th Street. We have a large amount of drainage that goes to a small pond that has seen some failure in one of the walls. So we're going to just investigate, see how much flow actually goes there, and then try to determine what we need to do to keep that outfall
Okay?
stable.
So this task order, this is a task order of BF&S.
Yep, in the not to exceed amount of $23,700.
Okay. Chair, entertain a motion to approve this agreement with this task order for Butler, Fairman, and Seifert.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions about this? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thanks,
Thank
Brad.
you.
Thank you. Next, we have claims. Coming from the back of the room, huh?
Good morning. I was a little late this morning. Jeremy Deal, City Controller. The Controller's Office has reviewed claims totaling $4,527,454.96. I request the board's approval.
Okay, Chair, entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Anybody have, excuse me, anybody have any questions?
Didn't.
I don't. No questions?
I do not.
Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you very
We have
much.
a couple miscellaneous event requests today. Isaiah 117 House Ribbon Cutting. Anybody there from, yeah, hi. That organization? Good.
Hello, I'm Holly Hess. I'm the location leader for Isaiah 117 House here in Lafayette. And we are just a home where kids can come and wait for their foster care placement instead of waiting at the DCS office. And so we're having our ribbon cutting. The house is ready. Everything's ready. We want to close down the street that we're on because we're going to have quite a few people there, as you can imagine. And we want to shut down Bonnie Lane. The house is at 2710 Bonnie Lane. And we want to shut down between Terry Court and Taranga Terrace and 28th Street, so kind of just right in front of the house, so people have somewhere to stand. Our yard is kind of slopey, so it's going to be kind of hard to stand there. Just for about half an hour well, we're asking for an hour, but the ceremony is only from 2 to 2:30, but there still will be people there
Okay.
until about 3.
This on September the 5th, correct?
Yes, on Friday.
Okay. Chair, entertain a motion to approve the special event request.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Anybody have any questions? We have a motion and a second. Anybody have any questions regarding this? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming.
Thank
Yeah, I'll see you Friday.
And then alum press conference, yes.
Hello, I'm Jen Bouchard Berry with Lafayette Urban Ministry. I'm coordinating the 2025 Hunger Hike, which is a collaboration between Food Finders, Lafayette Urban Ministry, and St. Thomas Aquinas Haiti Ministry. We have already gotten what we needed approval for the Hunger Hike, but tomorrow, Wednesday, September 3rd at 10 a.m. We want to have a press conference, bringing attention to Hunger Hike, letting people know what is going on September 21st. We're going to have a small group at Reilly Plaza just outside for that press conference.
Okay. And that's again tomorrow from 10 to 11, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
well, 10 to 10:30 probably, yes.
Well, that's, yeah, okay, 10 to 10:30 is on the request, so that's fine.
Yep.
Okay, Chair, entertain a motion to approve this request by Lafayette Urban Ministry.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Questions? Okay,
May I
thanks.
share?
You may. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh,
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Great, thank you very much.
Good luck with it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, that's our agenda today. We have an animal appeal hearing that follows. I think we'll recess for what, 5 minutes maybe? Okay, and then we'll come back together to talk about the animal appeal. Marty's here?
Yes.
Virginia? Here? Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and call the meeting back to order again and to hear the animal appeal. So I'll turn it over to you, Jackie.
Yes, we are here for an animal control appeal filed by Virginia Medrano regarding Luna and Sammy. The animals were seized on August 23rd, 2025 for violation of a dangerous animal agreement. Ms. Medrano timely filed her appeal on August 27th, 2025. So we are here today for that hearing, and we will get started with ACO Birchfield, who was the responding officer on the first call.
Good morning.
State your name, please.
Mitchell Birchfield, Animal Control.
Great.
Thank you, ACO Birchfield. You've already stated your name and title. Did you respond to a call on August 8th, 2025 regarding 2 dogs running at large and biting someone?
I did.
Okay. Can you give me a general overview of the call that day?
The call came in as 2 dogs that had bit someone on their own or off their own property. And before we could make scene, there was another call from the same party that stated they were keeping them in the house by, anytime they try and step out the door, acting aggressive towards them and technicians they had at their house that day.
I'm sorry, who was it that called and received that they were holding the dogs in their house?
They weren't holding their dogs in
Okay.
the house. The dogs were keeping them in their house.
The dogs were keeping them in their house. Thank you for clarifying that. And who was it that called and made that report?
The same party, Edward Roll and his wife.
Okay. And what is their address? And if you don't know off the top of your head, that's okay.
They live off of South Creasy.
Okay, South Greasy. And so you were called out for an animal control call, individuals indicating they were trapped in their house. So when you first dispatched on the call, what did you do?
So the first thing I did when I was dispatched to the call, I made scene. The victim and his wife stated that the dogs had run east back into the neighborhood towards Beechwood Drive and that they were still running at large. So I drove around the area looking for them. Was unable to find them, but ACO Gravely, who was also on scene, was able to locate someone who said the dogs had returned home.
Okay. And so the animals had been returned home. ACO Gravely, both of you were on this call. He then went to St. Elizabeth emergency room, correct, to speak to the dog bite victim, Mr. Rull?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you familiar with his report and the conversations on the dog bite victim, Edward Rull?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you describe a little bit about the injuries that Mr. Rull sustained?
So the injuries that Mr. Roll sustained, there was a puncture, or at least one, on the top of his hand and on the palm of his hand. He sustained those, in his own words, by reaching down to try and check the dog's collar, which had tags, to try and locate an owner. When he did so, the dog did bite him on the hand.
Okay. And this was at his property that this occurred, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And there are a couple of photos on your podium today. 2 of them are marked on top that says roll injury, which is the top of a hand and the underside of a hand. Are those pictures, to your knowledge, of the injury that Mr. Roll incurred that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And those appear to you in all of your training understanding, those are dog bite wounds that are on Mr. Roll's hand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So as a result of this incident, did you issue dangerous animal agreements for both Luna and Sammy, which were identified as the dogs that were involved in the incident?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about why the dangerous animal agreement was entered into?
So the dangerous animal agreement is something we issue when we don't have previous bite history for an animal or any signs of aggression in previous calls. The offending dog at the time was unknown. The Rolls were unable to describe which of the 2 dogs it did bite. So an agreement was issued for both, as they were both shown signs of aggression at the time of incident.
Okay. And what are some of the requirements that a dangerous animal agreement imposes on the animal owner?
So they must be spayed within 30 days, be microchipped, up to date on vaccines. If they go outside, we either want someone present or someone being able to keep an eye on them. And if they go off property, 6-foot leash, muzzle, all of that.
All right. And did the owner execute the dangerous animal agreement for both Sammy and Luna?
Yes, they did.
Okay. And they had the opportunity to ask any questions that they had regarding those agreements at the time they signed them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And as part of your investigation, do you inquire, especially when there is a bite involved, do you inquire into the vaccination status of the animals?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you do that in this case?
I did. I was advised that both of them were up to date on vaccines when I arrived on scene, but I did follow up the following day, August 9th, with the vet in question, and the records they had were 2 years out of date for vaccination on the dog they did have records for.
So the information that you received from the animal's veterinarian was that they were overdue for their vaccinations?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you have to report that information then to the dog bite victim, Mr. Roll?
I advised him and the dog owners as they would need to quarantine.
Okay, all right. And is there anything else with regard to the August 8th call that you believe is relevant that we haven't talked about yet?
Relevant in, so the way the dogs got out,
Yes.
what I would like to be noted is the lawn care professionals that the owners did have left the gate unlocked and the dogs were able to get out through the gate. They were able to push it open.
Okay, thank you. So that is the August 8th call. So we have a situation where the dogs were running at large. There was a bite, a dangerous animal agreement was entered into for each of them. But was animal control called out for another call on August 23rd, 2025 for dogs running at large and biting someone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you give us a general overview of the call that occurred on August 23rd?
I can. So on August 23rd, I was called out after shift for 2 dogs running at large in the area. At the time of my dispatch, it was known that it was Luna and Sammy. They had bitten their neighbor one door to the right if looking at the front of the house. What I was told when I made scene was that they had been out for at least an hour running the street before charging into the backyard and biting the victim.
Was there were there multiple reports of potential bites in this particular incident? And just to clarify which one you were reporting about.
So there was not multiple bites in this instance.
This incident, it was the previous one.
The previous
Okay.
incident, I had made scene, and there was another party that had made scene saying that he had been bitten in the past by the dogs, but had never reported it.
Okay, all right, very good. Thank you for clarifying that for me. So on August 23rd, 2025, the dogs were running at large and you received an animal bite. So did you speak to the owners of the dog and what did they report to you?
I did. They reported that again, lawn care professionals had been to the address, the dogs were left in the backyard and were able to push the gate open, and that they were still running at large at the time of my speaking to them.
Okay. And you had a report that the dogs or the animals had been involved in a bite again with regard to an Akuna Marat. Did you go speak to the dog bite victim?
I did. I spoke to both him and his son.
Okay. And what did they report to you?
Mr. Marat, who received the injury, was in his backyard gardening, and he stated that he had seen the dogs running at large, but had never had an issue with them prior, and he had continued to work, and about 30 minutes after that, both dogs ran into his backyard, and the larger of the two, Luna, bit him on his left elbow.
Okay. And there is another picture on the podium labeled Marat injury. The board also has a picture of that in their packet. Is that a true and accurate copy of Mr. Marat's injury that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that is what you would confirm a dog bite that did puncture the skin, correct?
Yes,
okay. All right. And so when you were looking at both incidents involving these animals and the bites that that occurred, how would you classify those bites? Were there scratches? Were they punctures?
I would classify them as punctures. With Mr. Marat, it is almost a tear with how long the incision is.
And so these are, in your opinion, as an animal control officer, would you classify these as significant injuries?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. And so while you were searching for Luna and Sammy at the August 23rd incident, did you return to the area of the original bite when medics were on scene to treat Mr. Marat?
So I did not return to scene when they were treating Mr. Marat. I was still out looking for the dogs as they were still running at large at that point.
Okay, but when you returned to scene, were medics still on scene when you returned back to that address?
So they had left the scene and had gone to a different address, which I listed in my report.
Okay.
I can't remember off the top of my head. They had stopped and radioed in that they had seen a dog matching one of the descriptions.
Okay, and so you met up with the medics at that time. Your body-worn camera was activated. Did you see Luna and Sammy at that time?
At that time, Luna was on scene. Sammy had been returned home previously.
And did you notice any behavior from Luna at the scene interacting with the medics that you felt would be relevant for the board to hear today?
So when I made scene, Luna was standing in front of the ambulance that had made scene. And when one of the medics who had a leash in the ambulance went to approach her, he put his hand out with his leash, and Luna jumped on his chest and attempted to bite him.
And as an animal control officer, how would you classify that behavior?
I would classify that as aggression.
All right. And do you believe that if Luna and Sammy were returned, if the appeal was granted, do you believe that further violations of the city animal control laws would likely occur?
I do.
All right. Anything that I have not asked you that you want to make sure to tell the board today?
No, ma'am.
Board have any questions?
Clarification, on the August 8th incident, you followed up with the vet on the vet record.
Yes, sir.
Was it, did I understand correctly, both dogs' records were there and both were 2 years?
So the records that the vet did have for Luna is the only one at that vet was 2 years out of date. I did speak to the owners after I spoke with the vet to try and get clarification as to maybe they went to a different vet and it was misconstrued. I was then told that Sammy was new to the household and her vaccination status was unknown.
And if you could, just the estimate of the dogs' ages that are involved here, if you could tell the board their ages.
The estimated ages on Sammy is under a year, if I had to guess, and Luna is, I would assume, 4.
Thank you. Okay.
The third, it's not a third incident because it was not reported. So there was a neighbor who just, while you were working in the neighborhood, came out and reported that he was also, or he or
So-
she.
Yes, sir. So I had gotten out of my truck and was in the process of going over the dangerous animal agreement and issuing it to Ismail Baradas, who was the owner on scene. And the third party rolled up in a golf cart and stated that he was bit and he did not call us and did not want us issuing the agreements to the dog as he didn't call us and just wanted to make sure they weren't in trouble.
Any idea when that happened, or? I mean, was that just in relation to these two incidents? I just wondered.
It was within the last week before the first incident.
Okay. And then the medic was, and after the second incident, when the medic was, the dog jumped on him, on the medic.
Yes, sir. So he was not bit, to my knowledge, but just him moving set Luna off enough to try and get to bite him.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, one more thing. So the neighbors, like the neighbor who was in the backyard doing the gardening, is it right next door?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
ACO Goins? Good morning. State your name and title, please.
Sarah Goins, Chief Animal Control Officer for Lafayette.
Okay. As Chief Animal Control Officer, are you familiar with the incident reports and the body camera footage from the ACO calls on both August 8th and August 23rd?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how would you characterize both interactions with the animals?
The Luna tends to show more aggression than Sammy, the pup. But Luna doesn't seem to need much to be provoked or anything like that. And the medic that was jumped on and bit, I mean, he didn't, or not, he wasn't bit, but he was jumped on. He didn't do anything out of character that you or I would have done walking down the street had we seen a dog running loose.
And so in your opinion, as Chief Animal Control Officer, do you feel that 2 incidents of running at large within a couple of weeks with independent, with bites involved in both incidents, what is your opinion, characterization of that as Chief Animal Control Officer?
I think it shows a level of negligence on the owner's behalf. After the DA's been issued, we make it a point that the dogs are not to be outside unsupervised. If they were in the backyard and got loose and had been loose for an hour and the owner didn't know it, in my opinion, that seems to lean towards the side that the dogs were outside unattended. As far as blaming it on the lawn care companies, we can't prove necessarily that that's why the gate wasn't locked or anything like that, but again, it's the owner's responsibility to keep their dogs contained.
And do you believe that a return of Sammy and Luna, or Sammy or Luna, would result in further violations of the animal control laws?
With Luna, yes. Sammy is young and has, according to the shelter, has not shown any signs of aggression or things like that. I would feel somewhat comfortable with the pup going back, but the shelter said that Luna's been extremely aggressive the entire time she's been held at the shelter.
And so animal control, you issued dangerous animal agreements on both the animals because it was uncertain initially on who caused the bite, correct? And that is what standard practice is for animal control. But based on a review of the complete situation, do you feel that it is more likely that it was Luna that was engaged in the bites and not Sammy?
Yes.
Okay. And just to clarify what you did say, your recommendation as Chief Animal Control Officer is that return of Luna would absolutely result in further violations of the animal control laws. Sammy the puppy has been okay in the shelter.
Correct. And my concern is that, you know, a hand bite, reaching down to check a collar, the next one was an elbow, then we see the dog climb, the dog literally climbs onto the chest of the medic. So we're nearing a face bite or something slightly catastrophic to happen.
Very good.
So.
Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Goins? Okay, thank you. Ms. Medrano? Ms. Medrano, if you could please state your name and your address, please.
Virginia Medrano, 1813 Beechwood Drive.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Medrano, you have heard everything that Animal Control has said. I talked to you before the meeting. This is your opportunity to tell the board whatever information that you would like to convey to them, or tell them whatever you feel is relevant today.
Well, first of all, my son doesn't live in my address. He stays there because my husband and my son died. So he stays with me, but he does not live at my address. He lives at 1014 South 14th Street. I have reinforced the gates. Luna's gone through mourning as she was my husband's dog. So I have numerous people coming to my house. The dog is not neglected. If you see, she actually has Addison's disease. So I pay $300 a month to give her her shots. My husband died a year ago, and my son died 3 months ago. So we're all going through a very traumatic time. The dogs are not aggressive. Sammy's 3 or 4 months old, so we hadn't gotten her to take her. Luna goes to West. She's been, Addison's disease causes her for her cortisone to level down, so she has a shot every month. The medic is a very large man. If they're not used to being outside, with random people. So if you have 3, 4 guys being aggressive towards them, Luna does protect the little dog as well. They're not running around at large. I have reinforced the gate that I live on. I'm willing to relocate them to the country if I need to. So my son did sign the agreement. I did not. I'm the dog owner. Luna is 5 years old. Sammy's 4 months old. It just has been a very traumatic time for my family all around.
Ms. Medrano, thank you for that. It does sound like you've had a very hard time, and you have my sympathy for that. And I don't want this question to come out harsher than I intended, but I just need to get it clarified. Were Sammy and Luna outside of your yard?
Yes, they were outside.
And did Sam more than likely Luna, do you acknowledge that there were bites that occurred to individuals?
That's what I was told. Okay. And when they said that the dogs were at large for an hour, I worked until 9 o'clock that night. I work in Indianapolis. So it wasn't my son. We hadn't noticed. We do have a Ring camera in the back to monitor the dogs. But I was in Indianapolis. I traveled, the reason why too, I hadn't taken them. I was going to take them that Saturday, but I do travel for work as well.
I understand that, but just to acknowledge, I mean, you do understand that Luna and Sammy were running at large. You understand, and that bites were reported to occur. Okay, all right, and I
Yes.
understand how difficult
And I
that
have
is, but,
reinforced the gate, it has been reinforced as well.
okay, thank you. Is there anything else that you would like to tell the board today? If the board has any questions?
No, they're just not vicious dogs. I have had kids around them all the time. You know, they're just not used to strangers out on the street either.
Any questions?
Questions?
I do have one clarification for ACO Goins, though, if she could come up. Thank you, Ms. Medrano. ACO Goins, just to refresh the board's memory on our dangerous animal agreements, are those a requirement of our animal control laws, or are those an option to allow owners another opportunity to show that this was maybe a one-off behavior of animals?
It's an option that we offer.
So in other words, a dangerous animal agreement is not required. In fact, animal control in their discretion could look at animals on a first violation and choose to impound them at that time, correct? Just wanted to make sure that was clear. Thank you. I have nothing further.
Okay. Anybody have any further comments or questions?
No.
Do we have, obviously, we have an opportunity to separate the two dogs.
We do.
Correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And that's sort of the recommendation, I think, of the,
And if there was a recommendation, it would be, just to make clear, we do sometimes use what we call final dangerous animal agreements, where an animal is returned in lieu of being impounded, and those agreements do have all of the same requirements as the original dangerous animal agreement. It must be secured, they must be muzzled, the animal must be fixed. But these agreements also are kind of a last chance opportunity. We are giving you one more opportunity, but if there is a violation again, there is no further right of appeal. If the board did want to separate those, we would ask that it be made clear that a second dangerous animal agreement would need to be issued for the animal returned.
any thoughts?
So you all, because that's not in our packet. I understand the nuance of the separating. That's something that you do support or would support.
Yes, as far as returning Sammy, the younger of the two, I don't, again, like Mitchell had stated, the first victim was a little unclear of which dog did it. They do look similar. They're both Huskies. But Luna does appear to be the one who is the aggressor, and dogs sometimes fall into pack mentality, and I would guess that maybe Sammy was barking or growling, but there is nothing to support that Sammy has done any actual biting.
Okay, folks,
I would support giving Sammy back. And
you want to make that a motion?
I,
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on that motion?
Well, I mean, I just think it's a risk because the two dogs were together and neither one was clearly identified. And it sounds like, it's very believable that the bigger dog was the one that did the biting. So if the other one is going to be cut out from that, then like Jackie said, there would need to be a lot of conditions because we wouldn't want to come back and say, oh, well,
Right.
guess what, it happened again.
Would it be possible, excuse me, would it be possible to amend the motion to say the return of Sammy is fine under the condition of one incident can result in the removal of Sammy? Would that then initiate another possible appeal?
It would not. The way that we operate our basically second, or almost third chance agreements is that you are getting another chance, but if it is impounded again, you do not have the right to appeal that.
So that's
And
the
there doesn't have to be a bite or any, like, if Sammy's
Right.
just found running
It's-
loose, we
right.
will impound the dog and it's done after that.
Right. So that's the second part of this And that's according to ordinance, is that correct?
That is, I'm not sure if that is
Their
specific in our
policy.
ordinance. That's our policy. We've used those second agreements in the past.
Okay. So you made the motion. Are you agreeable to the amendment of the motion to make sure, state those criteria? Jackie, can you make the motion? Can you clarify the motion so
Sure.
we understand what the motion?
Sure, so what
The intent is?
what I'm understanding the motion is, and please clarify that I'm correct, is that the motion is to deny the appeal for the return of Luna. However, Sammy may be returned to the owner on the condition of a second and final dangerous animal agreement being executed, which will have all of the requirements for the animal to be contained, for it to be a muzzle if it's off property, to be on a substantial leash. The animal still will need to be, although it's quite young, when it's recommended, it will need to be spayed, vaccinated, all of those requirements. And then the second agreement will say that if there are further violations, the animal will be impounded with no right of appeal.
So motion and a second, are you okay with that restatement? You agree? Okay. So that is the motion. Any further comments or discussion?
No.
So we have a motion. You've heard the motion. I want to repeat it. Can't repeat it. And a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Okay, that's our judgment, best judgment for this.
Thank you. Ms.
Pablo.
Medrano, we'll follow up with you in just a second, okay? Meeting adjourned?
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.